All right. Hey, we're live again, and we're going to just recap for just a couple minutes, let everyone get on. If you are on, if you can turn on your live notifications so you can get these updates, and also share this video, share it with your friends. You can do a watch party. This information needs to get in the hands of everyone in the community, everyone in the world. These strategies on immune boosting is across the board. It doesn't end in our environment. It goes state to state, goes worldwide, and everyone can at least implement some of these strategies. And we're going to make them very specific, but applicable, so you can do this. It's not going to be too hard. They're not going to be crazy. You get on some of these sites and you think, I could never do this. Well, we're going to make this real. So let's do a quick recap. We talked about a boost. Don't boost your immune system, but let's stimulate a strong immunity for life. Let's create habits for life. And any virus or any sickness is going to come down the road a month from now, a year from now, we're going to build an immunity so we can defend against anything. So what did you cover in the nutrition part? Do you remember? Recap.
Well, we talked about vitamin D.
Vitamin D.
We talked about vitamin C.
Vitamin C.
How important they are. We talked about being out in the sunshine, getting vitamin D from the sun first. Vitamin C from fruits, citrus fruits, mangoes, pineapples, always food first, and then supplements. The fact that you have the supplements here for them to purchase. What else did we talk about?
Basic nutrition.
So
yeah, and I think
40 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. And we're going to try to keep this in 30 minutes. Basic nutrition, lots of fruits and vegetables, and water.
Oh, and we talked about how just get over it. You have to eat vegetables. You have to. You got to put stuff in your body that God put on the earth, not processed junk that comes in a box. Exercise,
and I'm going to recap on some different parts of exercise. Exercise boosts the immune cells, your lymph cells, and chiropractic care. There's studies that show that supplements, good nutrition, good, strong, healthy nutrition, exercise, chiropractic care, all boost your lymphocytes, your immune cells, your phagocytes, where when you have a virus attack the body, your lymph system kicks in. I mean, your phagocytes kick in, your immune cells kick in, and they say attack. Well, we don't want to just wait for a crisis and say, now what do we have to do? And that's what a lot of us are starting to do. Let's create this habit to carry it over week after week, year after year, and now we've developed a strong immunity.
Right, so when the next crisis comes, you're prepared. You're not scrambling to figure that out. And we also talked about stress, reducing stress, because that is harmful to your immune system.
Stress and immunity, and we're kind of hit a little bit on that tonight. So let's jump right in. And if you have any questions, it's hard for us to see the screen. Hi, Kim. Hi, Mackenzie. We do see a few people. But if you have questions, load them in, or afterwards, ask us questions, or if you'd like something to be on the next one. We're gonna hit different topics each week. We're gonna learn. This is gonna be like a study course, and you'll be able to implement strategies every week, and you'll build on it. And a week from now, I'm telling you, if you implement these strategies, you'll feel different. 2 weeks from now, you're going to feel different. You're going to be stronger. And then you are going to be in control instead of sitting there thinking, what do I do? Well, you'll know what to do.
Right, because fear comes from not having any control, from not knowing how you can take care of yourself.
Right.
So
we want to break the fear. So first of all, if you've ever seen Simon Sinek, his TED Talks or read his book, you've got to have a why. If you don't have a why, and if you're on this call, you're on this and you're watching this, you have a why. You want to get better. You want to learn something. We've got to get people to understand this, and you have to dig that up. You have to sit quiet and say, why am I going to get up early and exercise? Why am I going to make a salad, put it in a bowl, and bring it to work when everyone else goes out to eat? Why? You have to have a why. And if you don't have a why, why would you do what you do? What's the purpose? If you don't have a why, your how to and your what is going to fall short. You're never going to follow through with a habit. So then once you have a why, how you do what you do comes second, and then what you do comes last. But what do we do in America? What do we do in life? We start with what? What do I do? What do I need to do? Wait, why do you want to do this? Well, I want to look better. Not a good why.
Right.
But my why, when my dad died at age 50, I drew a line in the sand that day, and I didn't understand how to get healthy or not die early from heart disease, but I said, I will not die early from heart disease. My why was, I am not going to leave my kids behind. No way. And you know what? The how and what came afterwards. We're going to give you some strategies, but you have to have the why to say, I am not going to die early. I am not going to become a victim to a virus or a sickness or a heart disease or cancer. I'm going to do everything I can. And we may not have a 100% chance, but my goodness, we could have a 95% or 98% chance. So you got to have a why. Belief is an acceptance that a statement is true or that something exists. So when you believe something, you like, hey, I believe nutrition, I need to eat healthy. I believe that. So then we will. You got to have a strong belief, trust, faith, or confidence in something or someone. Fear, probably just the opposite of belief, an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain or a threat. Be afraid of. Likely to be dangerous, painful, or threatening. So when I look at this virus, this virus in itself, it's dangerous. It causes fear, but I know what I've done to my body and my health. I don't have the fear. When I look at my dad died at age 50 of heart failure, he didn't understand the strategies. Well, I have the strategies. I don't have any fear that I'm going to drop dead at 50 because I'm 54 and I'm still playing rugby, which is a little maybe crazy, but I'm still able to do what I did when I was in my 20s. So find your why. That's gonna drive you.
And that will change your life.
That will change
Finding
your life.
your why will change your life. My why is not to live through pediatric cancer again. I have bigger kids now, but not to have to live through leukemia again. So I had to dig in, I had to research, I had to learn how to protect my family the best way that I could. And that gave me power. That gave me power, and the fear goes away. It truly dissipates.
Yeah, because
the more you educate yourself, the more you learn, the less you're going to be afraid.
Education and action, and you feel like you're part of
right.
that. And what a horrible thing to have to live through, to say that's you had to live to get there. What we're saying is, don't let heart disease in your family or pediatric cancer in your family be the thing that drives you to say, now I'm going to make a change.
Do it now, because once it happens, it's too late. You don't have time to learn. You don't have time to research. You have to do whatever the medical model says. And I'm not against doctors. I'm not against MDs. If my child falls and breaks her arm, she's going to the hospital to get her arm set. So I'm not against doctors. But I am for being an informed consumer. I am for making decisions for myself and my family that are wise and educated.
Yeah, and when we look at like the fear, when we look at just America, I say, what do you fear? If you don't have a personal story, listen to these stats. Heart disease, 650,000 people every year die from heart disease.
That's 1 in 4.
599,000 die from cancer.
That's 1 in 3 are being diagnosed with cancer.
Chronic respiratory disease, 160,000. Stroke, 150,000. Alzheimer's, 121,000. Diabetes, 83,000. Influenza and pneumonia, 56,000.
56,000.
So when you look at those numbers, you think, oh my goodness, do I have any control over heart disease, cancer, accidents? Maybe, maybe not. If somebody hits you, chronic respiratory, stroke, Alzheimer's, diabetes, influenza, we have control over, a lot of control over all those except for maybe an accident.
Diabetes.
Diabetes.
Type 2 diabetes.
So find a why and say, I am not going to go down this path. I'm not going to leave my kids behind, my spouse behind, whatever it is. Whatever you're here to serve. If you're serving God, He doesn't want you to die at age 50. We can serve the whole way through. Serve your family, serve the community. So when we look at chronic stress, and we get this stress in our life, chronic stress dysregulates innate and adaptive immune responses by changing type 1 and type 2 cytokine balance, and suppresses immunity by decreasing leukocyte numbers. So these are your immune cells. Stress suppresses that. When you suppress your immune cells, you're vulnerable.
And your immune cells, your white cells, are literally hanging out under your skin, waiting to be there to help to keep you healthy. If you
it's an army.
Yes, there's an army of defenders for your body to come against the pathogens that invade your terrain. So it's important that we know what they are. Most people don't even know
Right.
these words.
And when you have the, sometimes we get excited, we just go, and you're like, what's he talking about? But it also suppresses the T cells, your T helper cells, all your immune cells. So like Donna said, when a virus or bacteria hits your body, you have these innate immune cells just hanging out, ready. And as soon as it goes in, it sends a chemical messenger, ding, 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 brain, ignite us, let's go. And bam, they become alive
to fight.
and they attack. They surround it, suck it up, destroy it. And then you don't even have a symptom. You ever wonder, like, why did why did one have all these symptoms and sick and puking and mucus, and the other one didn't have anything, and they sleep in the same bedroom?
Or one just gets a cold.
Or one gets a cold. You think, well, the one's immune system turned on, defended, and done. So the strategies we're going to dive into some nutrition, will increase these innate immune cells. It's going to increase your immunity so you can have better defense. So what do you want to talk about?
How about bone broth?
Bone broth.
How about we
It's a
talk
hot
about
topic.
bone broth? Well, it is. I think it's really popular. Every article you see on Facebook coming through is about bone broth, but we need to understand what it actually does. In the last video, we talked about how our guts have most of our immune system created in our gut. So when you have little holes in there from the chlorine in your tap water, from the pharmaceutical drugs that you've taken, the over-the-counter drugs that you've taken, and just general pollution from eating out, from driving down the highway, you can have holes all through your gut. So now the things are leaking out into your system that shouldn't. They should be contained in your stomach and in your intestines. So that bone broth is able to kind of seep into the holes that we've put into our guts and seal it to make your gut healthier and stronger, to keep vitamins and nutrients, to keep the food in. It's a lot deeper than that, but that's the sum of what it does.
So where do we get bone broth?
So you can buy it if you want to. If you want to spend that money, you can buy.
They have it at
Yes.
Walmart, don't they?
They have it.
Organic
They do
bone
have
broth.
it, yes. Now, is that going to be as good as making your own? Nothing that's in a box is ever as good as when you make it yourself. So I simply get bones, put them in my crock pot, and then I cook them for about 2 days. So I throw everything in there that I can think of, from onions to garlic, celery, whatever I have actually left over from making a salad, or onions, mushrooms, whatever you want. All of those great vitamins and nutrients get sucked out of the vegetable and into the bone broth. The marrow from the bones will literally fall out of the bone into the broth, and you'll see that it'll start to get thick, and it's delicious. Salt, pepper, whatever taste you like. And then you just drink it. It's that simple.
Can you do it like a soup, hot,
Yeah.
or do you just
You
wait
can
till
use
it's cold?
it. Well, you can use it for your soup, to make your soup. You can use it just to drink. You can make a tea out of it, whatever it is you like. Simple.
So as long as you find a way, once it's cooked down, to get it in,
Mm-hmm.
how much would you recommend, like, say, per day?
My family just drinks a mug.
Okay.
They'll walk by and scoop it out and drink it. Yeah.
It's good. They say, oh, the crazy family, huh?
Yeah.
Scooping out bone broth.
They've been saying
But
that for a long time.
it's all right. But it's a simple thing and not expensive. Throw some bones in with some vegetables, let it cry. That's a
Yeah.
great thing.
And green tea.
Green tea?
We don't ever talk about green tea. Nobody talks about green tea. Great antioxidants. What's an antioxidant, right? An antioxidant just simply allows the debris to come out of your cells. The simplest way to put it would be, it allows the junk to get out of your cells
You're kind of
efficiently.
detoxifying with
Yeah.
green tea.
Mm-hmm. So it's antifungal, it's antiviral. So having a high quality cup of green tea, that
Where would you get the high quality green tea? Where would be the best?
online, and there are good teas at Walmart and the stores. You just don't.
Get the higher end
Yeah,
one.
I mean,
Don't get
the
cheap one.
cheaper the tea, right? They're not going to be organic. They're going to have pesticides on them. You're not going to know where they came from. But simply drinking a cup of green tea every day is a great immune booster, great
Okay.
health booster overall.
That's a simple one.
Yeah.
And you could even, make a bunch, cool it, and put it in a
Yeah.
jug like this,
Right.
sweeten it with a little stevia,
Lemon, honey.
lemon, honey, shake it up, and you can drink one of these. I usually have something else besides water in this, like my protein, But that's an easy way to do it. Make a big picture of it, pour it in, and off you go.
And then another quick tip is if you save the tea bags and put them in the refrigerator, it's a great spa treatment for you ladies, or for the kids or whoever. So, yeah.
One more.
One more? How about ginger?
Ginger.
Yeah.
All right, so how do we do
You like
ginger?
ginger?
I love ginger.
Okay. Ginger has a long history. They've been using ginger to heal organs for thousands of years before we even started recording about health. So ginger is warming in Ayurvedic medicine, which is the first holistic type of medicine that there was thousands of years ago. They would use ginger because it heated up your body. And anytime you heat your body, it's a benefit. Like in a sauna, you're detoxing. When your child has a fever, God put the fever in our body to burn the virus, to burn bacteria. Heat works against all kind of funguses and viruses and bacteria. So ginger does the same thing. You can drink ginger tea. You can eat ginger, shred it on your salad. You can use ginger essential oils. Some people put them right in their tea. Now, if you are going to use any essential oil internally, I suggest working with a practitioner for that. I don't suggest you doing that on your own, but lots of people do. If you're one of those people that are going to do that, I would tell you to don't do any more than 7 or 10 days and then take a break. You know, we're
Pretty
not
strong.
Exactly sure. It's very strong. These herbs are very powerful. So you have to really pay attention to that.
I would shred up some ginger, put it in a pot of water to make my tea, and when I would put it in my jug, remind me, I think I'm gonna do that again. And once I got down to the slices of ginger, I would just chew them. I mean, they're delicious.
They're
are
so
and
they're
good.
great for your tummy if if you do have a cold or something's going on with your child. It's great to calm down nausea.
Good. Okay, let's jump. How about a couple extra? We talked vitamins. Did we talk that yet? We didn't.
How much time do we have?
How about we talked about vitamin C and some of the other vitamins. How about one or two like really immune boosting vitamins maybe we haven't talked about?
How about zinc?
Zinc.
Yeah.
And that's all over the news.
All over the news. So there are studies that show that it helps with the common cold. So it's a great supplement. Take it according to the back of the package, unless you're working with a practitioner. And it does. There are studies that show that it works, like I said, against the common cold. Not mentioning any types of colds or
Viruses
bugs.
or anything?
Nothing like that. But yeah, I would say zinc. It's added in.
So zinc. One more.
Mm-hmm.
Up top of your head. Boom. How about?
Well, you're saying supplements, but in our house we use a lot of oregano. So we're going to count that. We use oregano supplements. We use oregano essential oil.
Right, you can get that as other forms.
Right, oregano can come in a capsule, and so that is absolutely antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, antiparasitic. It's truly God's germ fighter. So you can pick those up you don't have that here, right? Oregano?
No.
Okay, so you can pick them up at the local store, and you can take those according to the package as well. But that is an amazing one to have in
Easy
your
thing
cabinet.
too. You can put that in your herb garden and just go out and
For
shred
sure.
some. And
Yeah, well, we were talking supplement. I was
Yeah.
thinking, Hills, you need to have oregano in your garden. That's something that you really,
something real
when
simple.
one of the kids are sick, you cut a sprig, put it in tea, have them drink that. So it's a powerful
And
herb.
we're gonna switch it, do a little bit of exercise, and we're gonna come up with habits, because you're probably saying, oh, how do I get all this in? This is just this. It could feel overwhelming to you. We're gonna show you how, and I'm gonna show you how to implement some strategies that are very simple, that will rock your world, that will change you. It's changed my life. Years ago, I started implementing these strategies. It completely changed my behavior, my habits, and I get a lot more done.
Yeah, and just one more thing. You don't have to do all of those things that I told you about. Starting to put one of them in your life is powerful. So don't feel overwhelmed. It's better that you do one small thing than nothing because you feel overwhelmed.
And I'll show you how to do that, where you can go in stages. So with exercise, we need to exercise. We know that exercise flushes the lymphatic system. You sweat out junk, you pump your heart, your immune cells kick in. So there was research done and they analyzed blood of 125 active adult cyclists ages 55 to 79. And what they also, I'll tell you this in a minute, and they look for T cells. These are your immune cells that fight infections, also produced in the thymus, and the thymus actually shrinks as you age. So T cell activity was not only higher in the active patients versus the inactive, but very active cyclists were also producing T cells common to young people in their 20s. And this is somebody 55 to 79. And this is why this is so important, because your immune system declines 2 to 3% every year in your 20s. So in your 20s, you're starting to go downhill. Well, they took these active cyclists, 55 to almost 80, 79 years old, and they found that they had the T cells of a 20-year-old. Wow. So
you're terrifying them. They're not active cyclists or rugby
you don't have to be an
stars.
active cyclist, but you got to be an active person. You got to do something. So we look at this a little differently. I look at this and say, you got to get off your butt and move. And you can't be just walking slowly through the park. You got to do some vigorous exercise. Last time we talked about
You
moderate.
do, but even if you just walk gently for the first week, I'm happy with
Yeah.
that. Just move. Get out and move.
We got to go from here to there.
Yeah.
Moderate to vigorous exercise is the most stimulus for our immune cells. So, and I don't know if I haven't seen any study on walking extremely slow and benefiting your immune system. So you can, if you walk slow, you'll be able to walk slow for a long time. So that's okay, but you have to start somewhere. But you have to get to the point that you say, darn it, I've got to start pushing myself. So this is what I tell people. I'll tell you what mine is, and then we'll go back and we'll say, how do we start going to a certain level? Because I watch certain athletes online, I YouTube them, and they blow me away. I look and I think, I am so out of shape. So the other day, I worked out in the gym for about 30, 40 minutes with weights, pretty high intensity. I'll take a weight, I'll do it for 20, 30 seconds, take 20 to 30 second rest, and go right back at it. So my heart's pounding. And then I went out and I did 10 sprints. So I walked, I jogged for a couple minutes, get my heart going, and then I sprinted for about 15 seconds, 80, 90%, until I got close to 100%. I did 10 of those. In between a sprint, I would rest and walk for about a minute, 30 seconds to a minute, and do another one. It took me about 10 minutes. It was really quick. Really high intensity. So you say, well, I don't even walk. You can't start there. If you start there, you'll have a heart attack. You'll be found dead on the road. So you have to say, okay, I'm going to walk. And from one telephone pole to the next, maybe this will relate, is you walk faster. That's it.
Right.
You walk a little faster. You do 10
Every
of those.
time.
Every time. So I have a patient. She came in. It's so sweet. She said, Dr. Stresser, I'm going out. She's working from home now. And she goes out, and at her lunch break, she does like 15 minutes of weights and bands. And it may be 5 pounds, maybe 10 pounds. Doesn't matter. She does as much as she can. Goes out for a walk. She walks. And then when she hits the corner of her cul-de-sac, she jogs around the cul-de-sac. She can't sprint yet, but her jog is her sprint. So if you're on a bike, you bike for a minute, and then 10 seconds you go as hard as you can. You climb your stairs in your house. You got to find a way. So if your why is big enough, nothing will stop you. If your why is, I'm going to get in shape. My knees hurt. Who cares? Don't use your knees. Sit on the bench and do weights for 20 minutes. So what do you think on that? Where would
Okay,
you take
so
that?
I didn't exercise for a decade, and I was so out of shape, and he was encouraging me to exercise and encouraging me. So, but I had to start somewhere, and I started just at the kitchen sink doing 5 squats at a time. Before I went to bed, doing 5 squats at the end of the day. Just starting out because that's all I could do. I was out of shape. So now I can jump on the rebounder, the little mini trampoline, and my family has a Bowflex in the garage that my sons and my husband use. And so I do that. I do weightlifting out there, but nothing like him. But it does make me sweat, and it is hard for me. So so don't be intimidated by him, because at first you can feel like, oh my gosh, I could never play rugby. I would die, right?
Right, but her workout intensity she's getting the same benefit as me, because I've worked out long enough that I'm in a better physical shape, that if I were to do a very slow workout, I wouldn't get the benefit. Your benefit, you may get more benefit than mine because you're pushing yourself at a starting point, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't, it means you just have to do something. So
and I
great.
think all of it in a nutshell, you know that we're telling you to eat better. We're telling you to eat whole foods. We're telling you to detox your body a little bit, sweat, use lemon water, maybe dry brush, do some things like that. We're telling you should get adjusted. It will help you, and we're telling you to exercise. I do 3 of them very well. One I'm working on, the exercising. He does all of them well. No, you don't.
I don't do all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
You probably don't get adjusted as much as you should because you're here.
No, I get
Or
adjusted.
do you? No. Okay.
I make sure I get adjusted. I have to go see my chiropractor. I schedule a visit. I text him. I say, hey, can I come down? I adjust him. He adjusts me,
Well,
and
there
off we
you
go.
go. Yeah.
Every week. I hardly ever miss.
Okay.
But there's things in my life too. I look. I'm like, I am not doing this enough. I'm not doing this enough. It's a daily struggle. But I'm going to show you how to beat a lot of that stuff. So, have you ever heard of Carolyn Leaf? I don't know if you can put little like click. Hey, I know this. You put little hearts or something that goes up. We're learning this game. But Carolyn Leaf, she does a lot of. I don't know if she's a neuroscientist, but a lot of neurology and belief, and she's a Christian. And great, she has some great books, Carolyn Leaf. I'll see if I can tag her in this. So she talks about changing a habit. We have to create a habit. First, you have to recognize that it takes time to change. So if Dawnette said, I got to get in shape, and by the end of the week, she's like, I'm not in shape. I can't even do 10 squats. I'm done. But if she recognized, you know what, maybe by the end of the year, I can do 20 squats. I can go for a mile jog walk. I can ride my bike for 20 minutes. Then it's okay. Then she'll succeed. You have to recognize that Rome wasn't built in a day. And here's how habits form. It takes a minimum of 63 days to change an automated habit. Automated habit. And I'll explain this. When it comes to the mind, there really are no fixes that you can do it in a few days. And most people give up by day 4. So in 21 days, you roughly start building some groundwork. 21 days. So if you go 14 days, your neurology, your brain, your nerve system, your physiology hasn't been wired yet. So I've been so wired to work out at least 5 days a week. I just can't ever think of not doing it.
You wouldn't know what to do if you did.
Yeah, and just I'm so wired to come in here and adjust and certain things I'm so wired. But it took me training to get there. 21 days, you start laying the groundwork. 63 days, 2 months. 63 days, you've laid the groundwork, and now it becomes automatic. It just starts to happen. People say, I have to go home and exercise. And I'll say, I'm going home to exercise. They're like, it's raining. I'm like, what's that have to do with it? I have a why. So that's...
it's probably the same as driving through to get a cup of coffee or any other habit that you've built into your life, right? You just pull in that Starbucks on the way to work, and it comes as it's part of your life.
Lunch break. I'm going to McDonald's. I'm going to eat McDonald's, come back. That's a bad habit.
Yeah, but it's a habit.
It's a habit, and you'll find, I got to break it. So number 2, be intentional about learning from the mistake. So you have to learn from your experiences. So when you say, or like maybe when you were trying to exercise, you say, you know what, if I don't get in shape, it's going to affect my health. You had a tragedy in your, not tragedy, but you had a very hard thing to live through. You want to do everything you can to build your health. Is this going to happen to me? I've got to build this back in. So you learn from maybe some other mistakes. You learn from you trying to put this into your lifestyle. You brush it off and you go at it again. Become aware of your thoughts, mistakes, triggers, and bodily reactions. This is really important. So if you automatically come downstairs, open your refrigerator, grab a can of Mountain Dew, and the first thing you do is you recognize, oh, bad habit. Soon as you recognize that, now you're starting to change. And you may say, I'll start tomorrow. It's all right. It's better to start today, but that's all right. You recognize it. And then day 2, you recognize it again. And then day 3, you're like, don't put any Mountain Dew in the refrigerator so I can't drink any in the morning. and then you change the behavior. So you have to recognize it and start to change that pattern. Create a plan of action. I'm going to show you something here. Keep a thought journal. This is really cool. If you just journal how you feel. Like last night, I had more carbohydrates for dinner than I usually have. On my watch, it tracks my REM and my deep sleep. I slept horrible. Because I didn't have the night before. I had, and I tracked that, so I knew I was going to do it. And it's like I already knew. I did it anyway. But the night before, I had a steak, my grass-fed steak that I raise on my farm, asparagus, and a sweet potato, and I slept beautifully. So I know, don't eat carbs. So when you track things, you can say, you know what, when I had 3 Mountain Dews that day, I had a headache that night and I didn't sleep. And then you see it. You start to see.
But I just want to, I'm looking at the time, I just want to explain that real quickly why he felt that way. Because that's a sugar high before he went to bed with what he ate. Carbohydrates quickly usually turn to sugar instead of his steak and his asparagus and his veggies that just kept him at a constant sugar level throughout the night. So that high and then the crash is what gives us a problem and will change things like our sleep.
Yeah, and I knew that. And I did it anyway. So here's how you develop a habit. So this little chart here, I'll hold it up for a second. You want to create a chart and you want to put boxes in the chart, through the day. You can put certain times. You don't have to box your entire day. It's good to do this, but you want to box in certain times for whatever habit you want to change. So if it's exercise, you box in the morning, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you're going to do cardio, right? You're going to work out. And then on Tuesday and Thursday at lunch, you're going to do weights. So if you box that in, you look and you say, okay, 9 o'clock, you just go out and you work out. You go to the gym, you do whatever. If it's going for a walk, you walk. And when I put this red box around here, think of this. This was from Dr. Schiffman. Years ago I learned this. That I should turn that off. Think of it as being like cement walls, and you enter into this cement box, and you can't get out, nobody can get in. So when you box off 8 to 9 or 8 to 8:30, even if it's 8 to 8:15, that I am going for a walk, and if your husband comes out and says, hey, let's have breakfast together. No, sweetie, I'm getting my walk in. It's 8:15. You have to block that off and just push it aside and go.
Or invite him to go on the walk.
Or invite him to go with you, even better. And once you get that pattern for 63 days, this is automatic. Automatic. That it just becomes automatic and you've got it. But you have to block that in. And the only way you're allowed out is an emergency. Your husband says, the hot water heater blew, I need help. Okay, I'll walk later. Something where you have to change the pattern and you have to get out. So if you do that, it's going to change your life. So I hope we'll kind of finish up. I hope these strategies helped, and I hope you took notes. If not, go back, watch it, and take a few notes, and just take, like you said, Donette, 1 or 2 things. Implement it. Start with exercise and just say, I'm going to exercise for 5 minutes a day. 5 minutes, or 5 squats while your coffee is brewing. Do squats, and then you'll start to change.
Right, because if you do 5 squats twice a day, that's 10.
Yeah,
right.
That's it. Remember this: follow our Innate Life and subscribe to the live notifications. If you do that, you're going to get the notifications when you do this. Every Tuesday at 1 o'clock, Thursday at 7:15, we're going to post the topics. So we're going to make these topics change. If you have questions, please send them and say, hey, I really want to know about this. Please share this video with your friends and family. For these changes are universal. We're not making money from this. We're helping a community get healthier. We want to see lives changed. We want to see families restored. We want to see people not dying from these diseases. So please share this and join us again next Tuesday at 1. And again, any questions, just please send them our way, and we'll do everything we can to help you. And everyone who was on, thank you for listening. We can hardly see the names, see a few names coming up. Hey, I saw some hearts and things. Awesome. But it lets us know that you're out there too, and we love doing what we're doing. Anything?
This is a praying office, so all through this COVID-19 thing, the people here are praying for you, want to see you come in and get adjusted and stay well and stay safe. And thanks for watching.
Yeah, and happy Easter. And we are open because adjustments stimulate and support the immune system. A healthy environment supports your immune system. So I am so thankful that we can stay open and serve, and I'm doing everything we can to stay clean and healthy here. So God bless. Have an amazing Easter. Have fun with the family. Have an Easter egg hunt in your backyard. So thanks for watching.